Good morning, my name is Sylvia Stein and I am doing a video for the Coffee House Writers Presents. I am a content writer and team advertiser for Coffee House Writers. And this is my own self-publishing advice for new writers. Any advice I give is for any new writer is to join a writers group. This is important for any new writer because it will help you learn to share feedback with others and interact when you first begin to work on a potential work in progress. One of the best advices is to work on an anthology. It's a good way to begin on your first publication. I first began my works with a group on LinkedIn, and thanks to them I was able to participate in my first anthologies with them and honing in on my strengths. Basically, we would get together, discuss different stories, and it was a great way to learn how to give feedback to each other. And then we created these collection of stories, and then they became an anthology. So that's the first step for any like if you want to self-publish, I would start with a writers group and an anthology. So if you already started doing that, that's one way to start. So I hope that helps. The next thing, which is very, very important, is research. Research is so important. Do your research on what your target audience basically will be. This will also be key, especially when you're going to launch your first book. And you want your book reviews. Basically, you want to be sure what tags to set up for your audience. Basically, so research is very important. You could always do that first and then join the writers group. However you want to do that, but research is key in anything you do. Now, for publishers, there are many publishers. Now to self-publish, there's many. I thought that Amazon KDP, before it also had CreateSpace, was the easiest that I've ever seen, because there's so many. Lulu Press, Barnes & Noble New Press, Smashwords. There are many different ones. So for a publisher, I found Amazon KDP very easy to use. So also do research on that for any publisher that you want to work with. But there are many that you can use in self-publishing. Now, the biggest one also is to have a website or a blog that you work on. Be sure to set up a website or blog where you can publish on a daily basis. This is so important. This will help you create a media presence. Set up an author page on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. It's important to build an audience through your site. So this will build up your media, and this will help your readers and your that follow you. This way, when you publish any type of work, they will be by your side. So this is very, very important. Formatting. Now, formatting is very key in any file that you upload. So be sure that when you format your files, you have them set up with the right sizes. Every publisher or every site has a different type of size they use, standard size. So make sure that when you upload to any of the sites, whether it's Amazon KDP, Barnes & Noble New Press, Lulu Press, etc., that you have the right formatting on it, because the last thing you need is to upload something that's not going to look good when you publish it. But be sure that you use the correct format, and you can look up Amazon KDP and what their standards are. They all have different, some of them are the same, but you want to look all the different ones to find out what is the correct one. Now, if you're not sure, you can look up pressbooks.com. They format books. They have affordable prices, and they will give you the correct guidelines to what you need to follow. So make sure that you do that. Now this one is also one of the most important ones. Invest in a great editor. Editing is another big factor in self-publishing. Be sure to invest in a great editor. Do your research on them and be sure you both are on the same page. In parentheses I put, thankfully we have great ones at Coffee House Writers, because we do. We have a lot of great editors there. So if you're not sure about what kind of editor you want to work with, do your research, but there's a lot of great ones on Coffee House Writers. Be sure that you look up their reviews. Be sure, yes, a lot of times it can be costly, but be sure that the editor is on the same page as you. I know you'll have differences, but you have to work as a team. So make sure that you do that. It's very, very important. Now, as far as cover design, I believe that's another important part of self-publishing. Be sure to invest in a good cover designer. A great cover can go a long way. I had the pleasure of working with a wonderful one through the World Literary Cafe, through Fostering Success, thanks to best-selling author Melissa Foster. I met Natasha L. Brown, and she's an amazing cover designer. She worked on all 3 of my books covers. They were all designed by her, and I'm very, very grateful. I'm working with a new cover designer, my husband's cousin, who is an artist and tattoo artist, and he did my latest cover. But make sure that the cover draws everyone in, because that's an important factor in any type of book that you're going to release. So be sure to also invest on that. And this is just my own self-publishing advice. And I wanted to add notes real quick, because on the seminar on Wednesday, all of the authors who spoke about self-publishing touched upon all of the lists that I have placed here. In some way or another, they talked about it. But one of the biggest things, as I said, is to do your research. As a first-time author, once you have gotten your manuscript or are working on it, be sure to set up your social media and begin blogging and setting up your works for your target audience. And once you are done with your manuscript, be sure you have the best editor. Beta readers so that they can give you proper feedback on your works. Join a writer's group, as I mentioned. But the main thing, as I said, is to do your research. And this was Sylvia Stein. I know my video may be a little long, so Jess may have to edit it, but I wanted to say thank you, and I hope everyone has a great day, and thank you for your time. This was my own self-publishing advice video. Have a great day.